بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أنبياء الله جميعا وعلى سيدهم وخاتمهم حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ويا مولاي يا رسول الله. صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ويا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله، يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة ويا عبرة كل مؤمن ومؤمنة. يا ليتنا كنا معكم فنفوز فوزا عظيما. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ويوم يعض الظالم على يديه يقول يا ليتني اتخذت مع الرسول سبيلا. يا ويلتى ليتني لم أتخذ فلانا خليلا لقد أضلني عن الذكر بعد إذ جاءني وكان الشيطان للإنسان خذولا. Refresh your minds and your souls and your hearts with a loud salawat for Muhammadin wa Ali Muhammad. Have you ever thought about the types of the friends that you have in your life? Have you thought about their character, their qualities, their traits? On what basis you choose your friends? And have you thought about the benefit you gain from them, or sometimes the harm that reaches you from them? Have you thought about these things in your life? Friendship and friends are a gift from God. And we cannot survive in this life without having close friends, intimate friends, honest friends. We need the friends. Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam says, the one who does not have a friend has no family, is a lonely. So the friends contribute. And I wish the sisters, keep it low, please. If they want to speak, they can speak outside. This is a sacred place. And we are here to learn, inshallah. Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. So they have a big effect on our life. We are shaped, our mentality, our personality, our character is shaped by our friends. And therefore, there are three types of friends in your life. And when I mention these three types, you would wonder after that which type you have, which type of those friends you have in your life. The first type of friends are those friends for the dunya, only for this life, but not for the hereafter. You share the same a common interest with them, and they are all about dunya. And God says this dunya is nothing but amusement and a play and enjoyment. إنما الحياة الدنيا لهو ولعب. Nothing but entertainment. So some friends are only for entertainment, to have fun with them. They are only for dancing and drinking and partying and having fun and doing drugs together and drinking together. And those really are not friends. Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wassalam says, he says, those people who they befriend you for only the dunya, أخوان الدنيا تنقطع مودتهم لانقطاع أسبابها. They are here because they are benefiting from you, having fun together. Once this fun is over, when this fun and this entertainment expires, their friendship expires too. So this friendship is not everlasting. Do not put your trust in such friends. Friends who only want you for the dunya, not for the akhirah. Friends who want you only for fun and entertainment, not for serious job. Those are not friends. Stay away from them. And this friendship is going to expire, is going to break down one day. It's not going to last. God says the real friendship, al-akhilla, on the day of judgment, al-akhillau ba'dhuhum yawma'idhin ba'dhuhum li ba'dhin aduwwun illa al-muttaqin. Those friends that you see in this life and their friendship is only for the dunya, in the hereafter are going to be adu, enemies fighting in conflict. Except the muttaqeen, except the pious. In the verse that I started the session with, وَيَوْمَ يَعَضُّ الظَّالِمُ عَلَى يَدَيْهِ. God says on a day of judgment, a wrongdoer, a corrupt, is going to bite on his finger. Biting on your finger, what does that mean? It's a gesture of what? Gesture of happiness? Gesture of success? No. It's a gesture of regret and pain. Because he missed a lot. Why he's biting on his fingers? يَعَضُّ الظَّالِمُ عَلَى يَدَيْهِ يَقُولُ يَا لَيْتَنِ اتَّخَذْتُ مَعَ الرَّسُولِ سَبِيلًا. I had a chance to follow the Prophet. I had a chance to follow the faith. Ya waylata, woe to me. Laytani, I wish I had not taken fulan, such and such, so and so. Khalila, intimate friend. I wish I stayed away from them. My mother kept telling me I didn't listen. My father, my mentors, my elders, they said, stay away from those friends. Those are bad. They have bad effect on you. But I didn't listen. يا ويلتى ليتني لم أتخذ فلانا خليلا لقد indeed أضلني عن الذكر. He deviated me from the right path. After I received the guidance, this bad friend, because of his influence on me, أضلني عن الذكر, diverted me from the right path. بعد إذ جاءني. And then God concludes this verse by saying, وَكَانَ الشَّيْطَانِ, indeed, verily, Satan is going to disappoint you. When you follow Satan, definitely is going to bring you to disappointment. وَكَانَ الشَّيْطَانُ لِلْإِنسَانِ خَذُولًا. So the friends who are for the dunya, stay away from them. Don't waste your time. You are not going to benefit. You are going to hurt yourself. And you are going to regret after it is too late. The second friends are friends who are for the akhirah. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. Friends who might not have money, they don't have fancy cars, they don't live in huge mansions, they don't take you out to fancy, fine restaurants. They don't have a lot of money in this life. Materially, they cannot benefit you, but morally they can. Spiritually, they can. They can benefit you through their advice, They can benefit you through their wisdom. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. And therefore, our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, stay with those friends who really benefit you. You don't make money out of them, because your friendship with them is not based on materialism. It's not based on materialism, because you found good qualities in them. جالسوا من يزيدكم علما منطقه. If you have time to sit with someone who's going to increase you through his knowledge. يزيدكم علما منطقه وتذكركم بالله رؤيته. When you see him, you're going to remember God. وتذكركم بالآخرة عمله. And when you see his actions and his behavior, he's going to encourage you and remind you towards the akhirah, towards the real life, the hereafter. This is an example. Another example by Amir al-Mu'mineen, alayhi salatu wassalam. He says the best of friends, al-mu'inu ala ta'atillah. Al-mu'in, the one who helps you to follow God, to listen to God, to obey God, to implement what God asks you to do. The mu'in is the supporter. If you find someone in the community who really always reminds you to do good, to stay strong, to be patient, to continue your journey despite the obstacles that you face. Someone who always encourages you, then that is a true friend. Al-mu'inu ala ta'atillah. In another hadith, Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wassalam says, Man da'aka ila ad-dar al-baqiyah. The one who always reminds you of the akhirah. Some people, when you sit with them, they speak about dunya and nothing but dunya. Nothing but dunya. The property price is this, the taxes are that, the investment is here and that, and that. Dunya, 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 dunya. Nothing but dunya. This is not a real friend. This is waste of time. But someone who reminds you of your moral responsibility. Someone who empowers you and inspires you to be a good father, to be a good son, to be a good neighbor, a good citizen, a good servant of God, a good follower of Prophet Muhammad and his family sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Man da'aka ila ad-dar al-baqiyah. This life is short. I know you are young, many of you in their teens, 15 years, 12 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. But this life is too short. This life is like a dream. It's like a dream. And it will pass by very quickly, very fast. All of a sudden you find yourself in your 70s, unable to move, losing most of your health, getting close to your final destination, and you look back, you have done nothing. For 70 years, always fun, fun, fun. You did not build your akhirah. So a friend who reminds you to build your akhirah, man da'aka ila ad-dar al-akhirah, ad-dar al-baqiyah, wa a'anaka ala al-amali biha. He shows you the way, how to reach the akhirah. That one, فَهُوَ الصَّدِيقُ الشَّفِيقُ. The affectionate, the real friend, the warm-hearted friend is that one. So this is the second example. The first example, a friend who focuses on the dunya. You get nothing out of him but dunya. The second one is the one who invites you to the akhirah. And the third one is the combination of both. A friend who is experienced, who is wise, who is intelligent, who is knowledgeable, who is pious, who is smart. He benefits you for the dunya and the akhirah both, because we need both. We cannot abandon the dunya for the sake of the akhirah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in chapter 28, وَابْتَغِ فِي مَا آتَاكَ اللَّهُ الدَّارَ الْآخِرَةِ. Seek in what God has given you, the intelligence, the health, the money, the family. the education that you have, seek in that the hereafter, but at the same time, وَلَا تَنْسَ نَصِيبَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا. Do not forget your portion of this dunya. If you don't go to school, if you don't study, if you don't work, if you don't have a good job, how are you going to help your family and your community? Are you going to be an asset to your family or a burden on your family? God does not want anyone to be a burden on his family and his community. God wants all of you to be rich, all of you to be producing and working and millionaires so you can help others. وَلَا تَنْسَ نَصِيبَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيا. One day Imam Ali came inside the mosque. He found people who are worshipping, standing and sitting and bowing and prostrating. He said, what's happening here? They said, this is the teachings of Islam. We pray, we worship God. He said, how about your work, your job? What do you do for living? They said, nothing. We receive help, charity, sadaqah from here and there. He says, you are not working for that, your akhirah. You are working for nar Jahannam, for Jahannam, for damnation. This is not what God wants you. This is why God said the prayers are only 5, not 50. God says on the Friday prayers, once the prayers is done, leave, go back to your work. فَإِذَا قُضِيَتِ الصَّلَاةُ فَانْتَشِرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَابْتَغُوا مِنْ فَضْلِ اللَّهِ. Don't stay in the mosque. You did your prayers, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, go back to your office, go back to your school, go back to your job. Being in the mosque is just like being in a gas station, fueling your car. Put the fuel in your car, the gas, and then go. You are fueling your soul in the masjid, that's it. You don't spend more time here. Once the worship is done, go about your job, your life, your responsibility. God does not want you to be a burden on the state, on the country, on your county, on your city, on your family, on your community. He hates for a person to stretch his hand asking where he's healthy, he has intelligence, he has physical ability, and he can earn lots and lots of money, but then he comes and he says, give me some money. This is not good. This is not good. This is unacceptable in Islam. So Allah says, take care of your dunya, take care of your health, take care of your home, take care of your business, take care of your family. Be strong, be influential, be an example for other communities in New York, in New Jersey, in America. So they look up to you. Be successful. وَلَا تَنْسَ نَصِيبَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا. Do not abandon the dunya. Don't be like a derwish, living like a derwish, having no home, no clothing, no food. No, don't do that. This is not good. This is not good. So the good friend is the one who inspires you to do good in this dunya, at the same time, the akhirah too, the combination of both. Because this life is the plantation of the akhirah. The hadith says, الدنيا مزرعة الآخرة. If you don't plant here in this farm, you are going to reach there in the akhirah empty-handed, nothing. Nothing. Like a farmer who leaves his plot, his land empty, at the season of harvest, there is nothing. So, الدنيا مزرعة الآخرة. What you plant here, you're going to see it there. Therefore, you have to take care of your dunya and learn. And God has given you lots of potentials. Many of you are genius, my friends. Those who are sitting in front of me, if you can improve your work, go and improve your work. And if someone tells you, no, this is enough money, you don't, no, tell them you are wrong. Tell them I have to make more money. If I make extra money, I give the extra back to my community, to my family, to Afghanistan, to Yemen, to the poor people, to the needy. This is why we have zakat. God wants you to work and give the surplus of your money to others, to save your community, to empower your community. So this third example is the best example. The one who inspires you to do good in this dunya through his encouragement, through his advice, through his nasiha, through his experience, and also at the same time he tells you don't forget about the akhirah. Dunya as the path, dunya as the bridge. A bridge to the akhirah. We don't stay on the bridge. You don't stay on the bridge for a long time. You pass for 5 minutes, 10 minutes on the bridge, and then you get to the akhirah. This is the dunya. So this is the best type of the friends. Now, my friends, Islam says when you foster a friendship with someone, with a family, with a community, with an individual, try to maintain this friendship. Don't lose it. Some people are good at fostering the friendship, beginning the friendship, establishing the friendship in the beginning, but then halfway through they fail. They don't know how to maintain it. They don't know how to keep it. They don't know how to grow this friendship. Friendship is precious. And therefore, you need to know there are certain things that are going to destroy your friendship. Stay away from them. And I've chosen maybe 4 or 5 points tonight. Things that really destroys your friendship. Those people, stay away from them. There is no future in this relationship. There is no gain in this relationship. There will be nothing but regret out of this relationship with those 5 types that I'm going to mention right now, with a loud salawat for Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Is the AC working? The AC working? Both of them working or one? The AC working? Sallu ala Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. So the first thing that really destroys and demolishes human relationships and friendships is when someone is a liar and a hypocrite. You cannot trust a liar. Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib says, stay away from the liar. He's illusionist. He promises you such and such. At the time of delivery, he disappears. So don't follow. If you know someone is a liar and he has a habit of lying, always stay away. You may greet those people. Just say salam, alaikum as-salam. No more conversation. So stay away from a liar. Stay away from someone who's a hypocrite. He has 2 faces, double-faced. When he meets you, he greets you. He praises you. Oh, I love you, I miss you, you are great, you are this, you are that, you are. Once you turn your face and you go, he backstabs you. He's a backstabber. He slanders you. In front of you, he praises you, but in your back, he slanders you. Amir al-Mu'mineen says, the true friend, man hafadaka fi ghaybik. A true friend is the one that when you are absent and people mention your name, he comes to your defense. He does not leave you alone. This is a true friend. This is an honest friend. This is a good friend. Man hafadaka fi ghaybik. So stay away from someone who's a liar. Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wassalam says, as-sadiq as-saduq, the true friend, sadiquka man sadaqak, la man saddaqak. It's a big difference. Sadaqak, if you write it in Arabic, sadaqak and saddaqak, there is a slight difference between them. They are written in the same way, exactly the same way, but pronounced differently. Sadaqak and saddaqak. Sadaqak is a friend, whatever you do, good or bad, he says, ahsant, good job, I love you, mashallah. Naam khuda. This is what he says. Whatever you do. But the honest one, saddaqak, not saddaqak. Saddaqak is the one who always, tells you good, whether you do good or bad. But sadaqak is the one who's honest with you. When you do good, he says good. But if one day you say something bad and you do something bad, he has the courage, he has the guts to come and say, listen, I'm being honest with you. Whether you accept me or reject me, I don't care. I'm an honest person. What you did today is bad. What you said today is bad. This is a good friend. And don't be upset when such a friend gives you an advice, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, he says the best gift one can give to his friend is not a perfume, is not a bouquet of flowers. These things have monetary value, but something beyond monetary value. It can help him a great deal when you give him nasiha, a piece of nasiha, an advice, true advice. When you give to your friend, that is the best gift. And therefore we have to accept. We should not be upset. Those who get upset are arrogant. When someone comes to them, a father, a mother, an uncle, a friend, an elder, a teacher, a mentor, who tells them, this is wrong. What you are doing is wrong. And if they get upset, this is a sign of arrogance. So stay with a friend who speaks the truth. Who speaks the truth. He's not a hypocrite. He's your true friend. In public, he's your friend, and in private, he's your friend. In your absence, he's your friend. When you are there, in your presence, he's your friend. He does not backstab you. This is number one. Number two, what destroys friendships is money. Sometimes you find the friends, they foster good relationship for so many years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. They respect each other, they love each other, they help each other, they trust each other, until money comes in between. And money, my friends, is the biggest destroyer of friendships and relationships between friends and family members too. I've seen divorces, I've seen marriages being demolished because of money. I've seen a husband and wife who lived with each other for half a century, 50 years. Eventually they petitioned for divorce. Why? What is the reason? Because of money. They have a conflict, they have a fight over some amount of money, over a piece of land, over a property. Demolishes their marriages. So money is dangerous. Sometimes we mishandle money. We don't know. Money, which is supposed to be a source of a blessing, a source of building, a source of a prosperity and success, sometimes becomes a source of destruction, a source of divorce, a reason for divorce and separation. So you have to know how to handle this money. Allah says in His book, in the Holy Quran, most people at the time of getting money, at the time of test with money, imtihan with money, they fail. Most people. When they start making money, they fail. إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَيَطْغَى أَنْ رَآهُ اسْتَغْنَى. He transgresses when he becomes rich, when he makes some money, when he have a position in the society, in the government. They fail in this test. Many people fail. 90% of the people fail when it comes to money. And therefore, money would destroy the friendship. So be careful. Don't lose your friends when you make money. Don't lose them. I've seen in my lifetime 2 brothers, 2 siblings, from the same father, same mother, same family. They take each other to court. They sue each other. And they have cases in the court for several years. Why? Because of what? Because of money. Because of money. Because of this dunya. So be careful. Don't lose your family members, your siblings, your good friends because of an amount of money. Money comes and goes, but a friend does not come and go. If you have a good friend, maintain this friendship. Do not destroy it because of money. Money is not worth it. We're going to leave this life, all of us. In 100 years from now, none of those people who are here or there or elsewhere, they would exist. There will be other people in New York and New Jersey. We will be somewhere else. And all what we take from this dunya with us, 2 pieces of a cloth, no more. No jewelry, no cash money, no gold, no silver, no property. Only the kafan. And the kafan is worth, if you buy it from Najaf and Karbala, only $50 American, no more. This is what you take with you. So it's not worth it to destroy your relationship with anyone because of money. It's not worth it. Don't fight over money. And if you are in a family, and I see sometimes in some families, because of the inheritance, the dad dies and he leaves behind his estate, some money, the kids, the children are going to fight over that inheritance. Don't do that. Don't demolish your relationship with your siblings, the nearest people to you, because of an amount of money. Whatever that amount is, it's not worth it. So this is the second thing. Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wassalam says, كل أخاء منقطع إلا أخاء كان على غير طمع. Every friendship is going to expire and collapse except the friendship that is not based on greed. A friendship that is not based on greed. Because you don't have any tama in this person. You don't have any bad intention with this person. You fostered relationship, a friendship for the sake of God only. This friendship is going to last, not only in this life, in the hereafter. Some of you are going to be friends, not only here, even in the hereafter, you continue this friendship. Because your friendship is for the sake of God, not for the sake of dunya. If it is for the sake of dunya, it's going to collapse sometime. But if you have the intention that this man is my friend, not because I have agreed in his, or hope in his money, in his wealth, in his house, in his car, in his business, no. I'm just befriending him because he's an honest man, a clean man. You know, my friends, let me tell you from my own experience in this country. I have many friends in this country. I've been to 48 states in America. 48 states. I've been to 119 countries around the world. I flew, since I came to this country 30 years ago, 2 million miles. 2 million miles. So I have many friends, alhamdulillah. Some people, I don't know their name. I don't even know their name. I hardly know their first name. I don't know their family name. I don't know their nationality. I don't know their family. I don't know anything about, but they are close to my heart. Why? Because they are honest. I love them for their purity, for their integrity, moral integrity, for their honesty, for being servants of God, for giving their life for the sake of the humanity and God and faith. They become my closest friend. And sometimes there are people who are next to me day and night. They are not my friends. Base your friendship on the love for the sake of God. Only for the sake of God. If you find someone honest, truthful, pious, and he gives and he serves his community, his country, the humanity, with earnestness, with dedication, with ikhlas, not for the sake of fame, not for the sake of being a celebrity, becoming a celebrity, no, for the sake of God, that is the best friend. Take him as your intimate and a closest friend. And you will enjoy that friendship. You will flourish out of that friendship. Number 3, what destroys friendship is that at the time of need, when you need your friend, he's not available. He betrays you at the time that you need him the most, at the time of emergency, at the time of distress, at the time of sickness, at the time when you have some need, when you need some loan, when you need some help, when your car is broke down and you think you have a friend that you can trust him and depend on him, and you call him and he says, you know what? I'm busy nowadays and with my business, with my school, with my wife, with my kids, with my, sorry. This destroys the friendship. And therefore, don't put much hope in people, my friends. If you don't want to get disappointed in this life, do not put your hope, do not rest your hope on people. Always rest your hope on God. Say, God, I put my trust in you. you send me the right people, because I don't know people very well. And this is the meaning of the hadith. The hadith says, if you put your hope in your family, in your children, in your friends, in your health, in your profession, in your money, in your connection with the government, God is going to make you disappointed. He's going to disappoint you. But if you put your hope in God, God is going to send you agents out of nowhere, people that you don't know them. They come to your aid. They come to your help. So do not continue your friendship with some people who turn their back to you and they are not available when you need them. Don't put your... Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam says, the true friend is dhukhr. He uses the term dhukhr. Dhukhr, what does dhukhr mean? Dhukhr means an asset. You have an asset. You have some saving. You tap into this saving at the time of need. Imam Ali says the true friend is an asset. So he's there. He doesn't say, I'm busy. At the time of emergency, he's there. He leaves everything behind. He rushes to your help. He will be the first one to arrive at the time of affliction, adversity. This is a true friend. This is a friend which is equal to 10,000 people. If you have one friend like that in the community, it's enough for you. You don't need more. You know what the hadith says? Hadith says, how do you know the wife, your wife is the best wife, is the most genuine wife? When she cooks good food? Where? How do you know? The hadith says, you know your wife is good and loyal at the time when you lose your wealth and your money. You become poor. You file for bankruptcy. You lose your business. You are laid off. You have no source of income. If that wife stays with you and she encourages you and she reminds you that, listen, do not despair. Do not be despondent. There is God. God is the real sustainer, not your company, not your corporation, not your boss. God is the sustainer. And this is a test from God. If God shuts one door, He's going to open another door. Don't despair. If she doesn't chide you because you are poor and you lose your money, if she doesn't leave you, if she stays with you, that is truly the genuine wife. A wife that deserves respect and admiration. How do you know the husband is the best husband? A genuine husband. They say, at the time of what? The sickness of his wife. If the wife gets sick, does he abandon her? If the wife, after marriage, he finds out his wife is barren, she does not conceive, حامل نمیشه. She doesn't conceive. I've seen both examples. I've seen someone who lived with his wife for 60 years. She did not conceive. She did not have children. And they kept telling him, his mother when he was young, she would tell him, listen, you can go and marry another. You need to see children. You will regret if you don't have children. You have wealth, you have status. You need to have children. He said, no, I can't break her heart. Yes, God allowed me to have a second wife, a third one, a fourth one, but my heart does not allow. She's a good wife. She's a good friend. She's a soulmate. I trust her. I don't want to get another wife. I know I'm not going to have children. It's okay. It's okay. And I've seen another person who has the best wife and he has children and he has a stability, but yet the greed pushes him to marry the second one and abuse his first wife and abandon the first wife. And then he comes, he says, this is halal. It is halal, yes, but many things are halal, but morally unacceptable. Many things in the society. God says, okay. Beside, who says it's halal when you abandon your first wife? Is it halal? Did God say in the Quran, abandon completely, desert the first wife? and your kids from the first wife, and then go and marry another one, enjoy your life, okay, while you are abusing the first wife. Where is this in the Quran? It's not halal. So the good husband is good when his wife is sick. He doesn't abandon her. And the good wife is good when she does not abandon her husband when he's poor. Because we have something called loyalty. Ikhlas and loyalty to the people who live with us. We have a duty. We have moral duty, moral commitment to be with them, not to hurt them. At the time, if I make more money than I have money, I have more money, let me go and marry another wife. This is not good. This is morally bad. Number 4, if you have a good friend and if you want this friendship to continue, do not overburden your friend. If your friend is too sweet, do not consume him completely. Leave some room. Sometimes we overburden we take them for granted. Sometimes a wife, we take her for granted. A husband, taking him for granted. A son, a daughter. We put all the burden on them. This is unacceptable. In the Quran, we read in the 2nd chapter, رَبَّنَا وَلَا تُحَمِّلْنَا مَا لَا طَاقَةَ لَنَا بِهِ. If we do not bear this responsibility, please God, please Lord, do not overburden us with this responsibility. وَلَا تُحَمِّلْنَا. And we have to do the same. We should not overburden our families and our friends. Don't overburden them. Because sometimes they break and we lose them. Some good people, they don't know how to say no. I know them. I know many good people in the community. You know many good people in your family, in your community. In their vocabulary, there is no. They don't say no. Because they are shy, embarrassed, thoughtful. They have good heart. They have compassion. They don't tell you no. But sometimes you are overburdening them. Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wassalam says, شَرُّ الْإِخْوَانِ مَنْ تُكُلِّفَ لَهُ. The worst friend is the friend that overburdens you. Or the friend that you are very careful with him. How? Because he's oversensitive. Whatever you say, he's going to misuse, misinterpret. So you have to be extra careful with that person. He's very fragile, very sensitive. This is a bad friend. This is not a good friend. This is not a good friend. A friend, a true friend, even if you offend him, he's ready to forgive you. Because this is exactly what the hadith says. The hadith says, وَقَبِلَ عُذْرَكَ. These three qualities should be found in the friend. 1, غَفَرَ زَلَّتَكَ. He would forgive you your fault, your mishap. He's ready to forgive. He has a big heart. He does not cut these ties over a small conflict. He doesn't destroy a friendship that is 40 years old over something trivial, something small. He's ready to forgive you, number 1. Number 2, وَسَدَّ خَلَّتَكَ. If you have shortage in anything, he comes and he gives, he contributes. Number 3, وَقَبِلَ عُذْرَكَ. He would accept your apology. When you go and apologize to him, he says, yes, I would accept your apology. This is a good friend. And number 5, I conclude, what destroys friendship is when you keep nagging and complaining to your friend. You keep chiding him and criticizing him. Don't do that. Don't keep complaining. Begin your day as a wife, as a husband, as a father, as a mother, as a son and daughter. Begin your life giving thanks to God. Don't complain. The reason why we complain about our life, because we don't see people who are lower than us. But if you take your kids to Afghanistan, if you take your kids to Yemen and Sudan and Syria, if you take your kids to Gaza and Palestine today, and you see how people are sleeping in the streets, They have no sanitation, they have no drinking water, they have no food, they have no medicine, they have no bed, they have no cover. You start giving thanks to God. So don't complain. What you have, enjoy what you have and give thanks to God. Right now in Gaza, they don't have a drinking water. No drinking water. In the news 2 days ago, it says the children in Gaza, the infants, children, they spend 8 hours a day searching for food. 8 hours. Their parents, they send them outside to search for food, and sometimes they come after 8 hours empty-handed, no food. Give thanks to Allah. When you eat any meal, whether big or small, give thanks to Allah. So don't nag and don't complain. And be thankful. And Allah says in the Quran, لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you give a gratitude, if you are thankful and grateful to me, I will increase my blessings. If you keep nagging, I might take it away from you. This is a privilege. What we have is a privilege from God. It's a blessing. And God can take it away. So if you don't want to lose your friend, do not keep chiding him and criticizing him. Accept him, because he's a human being just like you. We are not ma'soomeen, we are not infallible. One day we may do good, a following day we may do bad. But we learn from what we did. We learn from our mistakes. So don't consider your friend to be immaculate and perfect. No one is perfect in this life. We are learning. Al-Imam al-Hussein alayhi salatu wassalam made a statement in Karbala. He said, Wallahi inni la ara ashaban khayran min ashabi, wa la ahla baytin abarra wa awsala min ahli bayti. By the Lord, I see no ashab, no friends, no companions more noble, more loyal, more faithful than my companions. Neither family members more dutiful and virtuous than my family members. And this is a true statement. His ashab were intimidated by Bani Umayyah. Even at the eve of Ashura, they sent them messages. Leave Imam Hussein. We're going to give you prize. We're going to give you gift. We're going to give you aman, immunity and security. But they didn't leave Imam Hussein. Imam Hussein, he stood, he himself, few hours before the battle broke, only few hours. He said, Ashabi, my companions, I am asking you to leave me because I am the most wanted, not you. Yazid wants me. He has nothing to do with you. So leave me and go. I accept. I am telling you. Leave me alone. Leave me in the battlefield alone. One after the other they stood. They said, Aba Abdullah, where do we go? We go to live after you. لا خير في العيش بعدك. There is no goodness, there is no beauty, there is no khair in this life without you. We came all the way. One of them is John. He was a servant. He was a black. Imam Hussein says to him, you served us for so many years. Now I want you to leave. He throws himself on Imam Hussein. He says, Aba Abdullah, at the time of felicity and affluence, I was with you. Now at the time of affliction and adversity, I abandon you. I don't do that. I don't do that until my blood mixes with your blood. Wahab al-Kalbi, I mentioned his story. A newlywed who was a Christian, who accepted Islam with his wife and his mother on the way to Karbala. And they arrived in Karbala. On the day of Ashura, his mother comes to him. She says, Ya Wahab, we just converted to Islam. So let's crown our faith and our Islam by martyrdom. So I want you to go and defend Imam Hussein. So you receive the shafa'ah, the intercession of his grandfather. He said, of course, mother, sure, I will do that. He took his sword. He goes to the battlefield. He fights, After a while he comes back, he says, "Mother, are you satisfied now?" She said, "Never ever, until I see you being martyred before your master, Imam Hussein alayhi salam." Can you imagine? They just converted to Islam 3-4 days before, from Christianity to Islam. And the mother, usually mothers are overprotective with their kids. But this mother comes to him, she says, "I would not be happy with you if I don't see you right before my eyes, being martyred in front of Hussein alayhi salam." His wife came to him. She said, "We are newlywed. If you die, I will die after you. Please don't abandon me." He didn't listen to his wife. He went to the battlefield. He was fighting until he fell down. When he fell down, before he fell down, his wife from behind him, he heard her voice, "Ya wahab qatil dun at-tayyibin abna at-tayyibin dhurriyyat Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam." Go forth, fight. He turned his face. He said to his wife, "A minute ago, you were discouraging me. You said to me, don't go. What happened?" She said, "Wahab, do not blame me. I saw Imam Hussein standing alone, and he's crying, 'Ala hal min nasirin yansuruni?' Is there any helper here? Is there any supporter here to come to our aid, to our defense?" I could not see Imam Hussein saying this. This is the son of the Prophet. I want you to find defending him. He was struck on his head. He fell down. She sat next to him, wiping the blood from his face. While she was sitting there, she said, "I ask Allah to join me. I don't want to live after you." The servant of Shimr ibn al-Jawshan was passing by. He dealt her a blow on her head, a fatal blow, and she died instantly. She was the first female martyr from the companions of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Can you imagine? They were Christian a few days ago. Now they are Muslims and they are martyrs, and we remember them. After 1400 years, we remember them. We pay tribute to them. This is real friendship. Those are real friends, real companions. Another one who was only 11 years old. His father had already died in the battlefield. His mother came to him. She said to him, "I know you are still young, 11 years old, but still I want you to go and defend Imam Hussein and brighten my face before his mother Fatima al-Zahra. Bayyid wajhi amama ummi al-Zahra." So he took the sword. He came and stood before Imam Hussein. Imam Hussein looked at him. "This is a child. I would not allow him to go to the battlefield." Imam Hussein said to him, "Uncle, please go back to your mother. I would not give you permission. Your father just died. I don't want your mother to be bereft by you too." He said, "Ya Aba Abdullah, believe me, trust me. My mother is the one who sent me here, not me. My mother is the one who encouraged me." So he sent him back to his mother. The mother, when she saw him, she holds his hand and she comes to Imam Hussein. She says, "Ya Aba Abdullah, is it fair that your mother Fatima al-Zahra is going to be afflicted by your martyrdom and I don't get afflicted by my son? Please, I urge you, I plead to you, da' ibni yuqatilu bayna yadayk. Allow my young son to fight and defend you." Imam Hussein gave him permission. This young man of only 11 took the sword to the battlefield, crying, "Amiri Husaynun wa ni'mal amir. Amiri Husaynun wa ni'mal amir. Sururu fu'adil bashir al-nadhir." My master is Imam Hussein. My leader is Imam Hussein. He's the joy, the love of my life. علي وفاطمة والداه فهل تعلمون له من نظير. Hussein, his mother is Fatima, his father is Ali. Can you find a match? Can you find someone compared to him? He's unique. He was fighting until he fell down. Imam Hussein asked his son Ali al-Akbar to rush to him to save him from the forces. And then The mother, when she saw her son died, she decided to go to the battlefield. She went inside the battlefield. Imam Hussein rushed after her. He took her back. He said to her, I would not allow you to fight. Go back, stay with Zainab. Ali al-Akbar, when he reached this little boy, he heard the little boy before he breathed his last saying, oh my master Ali al-Akbar, please take your mother into your camp. Take care of her. She's going to be lonely after me and after my father. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين